You step onto a massive, active construction site at the crack of dawn. The cranes are moving, the crews are assembling, and the risk of catastrophic injury is entirely real. Most safety professionals managing these sites earn a standard corporate salary, which breaks down to a solid, predictable hourly wage. But on that same site, an independent safety consultant might walk in to run an audit or teach a specialized class and walk out with $1,500 for a single day's work. Making that leap means leaving the safety net of a W-2 paycheck and health benefits. You are trading guaranteed income for the strict legal liability and administrative grind of running your own business. Knowing OSHA regulations inside and out is only the price of admission. What separates a struggling freelancer from a highly profitable consultancy is the business architecture built around that technical knowledge. Before you can even attempt to sell your services at a premium, you have to clear the credentialing gatekeepers. The first hard requirement is proving you have 5 years of verifiable safety and health work experience. There are absolutely no shortcuts in this process. For the construction sector, the path starts with the OSHA 510 Standards course. Once passed, you take the OSHA 500 Train the Trainer course. For manufacturing, you take the General Industry track, completing the OSHA 511 Standards course, followed by the OSHA 501 Trainer course. Successfully completing either pathway earns you a Department of Labor Authorized Outreach Trainer card. This piece of plastic gives you the legal authority to issue official 10-hour and 30-hour training cards to your students. But you need to be exact with your language. Earning this card means you are an authorized trainer. It does not mean you operate an OSHA-approved company. Misrepresenting your relationship with the federal government will quickly ruin your reputation. Keep in mind, the frameworks discussed here are for educational purposes. We are mapping out business strategies, not providing binding legal or tax advice. This long prerequisite runway requires a high upfront commitment of time and money. Because the barrier to entry is steep, it naturally filters out casual competitors, leaving a highly protected market for those who actually finish the process. Once authorized, the immediate temptation is to sell as many basic 10-hour and 30-hour training classes as possible. But there is a ceiling to this approach. You only have so many hours in a week, and physical classroom training restricts your earning potential to your calendar availability. Breaking that ceiling requires developing productized services. You create standardized safety programs, like comprehensive hazard communication manuals tailored for specific contractors that can be sold as repeatable assets. Creating these programs requires a massive upfront time investment. You have to research the regulations, write the procedures, and ensure every template includes the necessary legal disclaimers to protect your firm. Operating a defensible safety consultancy requires a sheer volume of documentation. You are generating site-specific safety plans, audit reports, and procedures for every client. When you package and sell these documents as flat-fee products, you uncouple your income from the classroom. This transition from hourly instructor to systems architect is what allows a consulting business to actually scale. If you bill by the hour, you are actively punished for getting faster at your job. A site audit that used to take you 6 hours might now take 3, effectively cutting your pay in half for providing a faster, better result. That is why successful consultants use value-based pricing. This chart visualizes a premium day rate structure. It starts with a base fee at the bottom, calculated by the financial return you deliver to the client, like helping them avoid a 6-figure regulatory fine or securing a lower insurance premium. On top of that base, you structure add-on revenue. You build in separate billing layers for travel, administrative preparation, and the premium cost of weekend delivery when contractors need you to train their crews on a Saturday. Hitting that $1,500 day rate depends heavily on your region and your clients. A massive commercial developer in a major metro area has the budget to absorb this. A small residential framer in a rural town likely does not. You have to prove that your fee is a fraction of what an accident or a project shutdown would cost them. Demonstrating direct financial value to general contractors is the only way a premium pricing model survives. Holding an OSHA authorization requires strict compliance with their record-keeping rules. You have to maintain detailed rosters, track training hours to the minute, and submit timely reports, or you risk having your trainer status revoked. The stakes for getting this wrong are severe. If you miss a critical hazard and an incident occurs, the entire project grinds to a halt. As an independent consultant, that liability points directly at you. Purchasing robust errors and omissions insurance is mandatory. Without it, your personal assets are completely exposed to lawsuits from injured workers or angry contractors. You also need airtight contracts. Your service agreements must explicitly define the limits of your responsibility on site, outline clear cancellation terms, and state exactly what happens if a client ignores your safety recommendations. Survival in this industry requires treating the consultancy as a highly shielded corporate entity. This structure is a non-negotiable requirement for managing the heavy legal risks inherent in professional safety oversight. Acquiring corporate clients in a high-risk industry is difficult because site managers are naturally defensive. They do not want an outsider walking onto their site to point out everything they are doing wrong. To bypass that friction, consultants deploy mock gap assessments as their initial lead magnet. You offer to run a focused mini audit of a specific high-risk area, completely free of charge. By giving away an hour of high-value diagnostic time, you prove your competence before asking for $1. You identify actual blind spots in their hazard communication or fall protection setup, establishing immediate, practical trust. The pipeline funnels that initial trust directly into a pitch for ongoing support. Once they see the gaps, you offer them a paid monthly retainer to actively manage and fix those specific problems. Lowering the initial barrier to entry turns a skeptical site manager into a long-term partner. That strategy replaces the feast or famine cycle of one-off classes with predictable, recurring cash flow. This business architecture relies on the strict coordination of 5 elements: your credentials, your products, your pricing, your proof, and your protection. The decision comes down to your appetite for liability. You can maintain a comfortable corporate salary, or you can absorb the strict risks and administrative grind required to command premium consulting rates. We want to hear your plan. Let us know in the comments below if you are pursuing the construction pathway or the general industry track. If you want to learn more about workplace safety and OSHA rules, subscribe to HSEstudy.